Hail and well met, everyone. Welcome back to Let's Roleplay, Major 3.
You're nerds.
I'm your host... Okay, well, Garrett's not gone. I'm your host, Duhad. Joining me, as always, is our GM, Belil.
Howdy.
Our player, Kit, a.k.a. Colonel DeFrog.
Yo.
And Winter.
I am currently present.
He lives. So anyway, yes.
I like to live.
And before we begin, as has become customary, shall we quickly run down our characters and quickly explain who we are and who we are playing?
I guess we shall, and as per usual, I will begin. I'm Winter, and I will be playing Edward, the disgraced hero trying to find himself. However, he struggles. He has the trouble with friends like these. He is a law-abiding fugitive who has been through some shit. He leaves no stone unturned, and is the suit's most wanted. The truth will set him free, though he still hates his love for those damn green eyes.
He just slobbers all over those eyeballs. He's got a poster with people with green eyes, and I just can't get enough of it.
Forgot to turn the timer on. The timer is now on. Okay, sorry about that. So anyway, yes. Kit, why don't you explain who you are and who you are playing?
I'm not going to explain who I am, because that would take entirely too long, but I am playing Lee, also known as Jet Shaw, the person who doesn't know if they're a hero, but used to play one on the silver screen. The big things are coming for them. They say bring it on. They're a disgrace to their family, but their siblings love them. They will pour one out for our civil rights. They are what they are, and they'll handle things with a pair of tongs. They are the master and frequent student of the Shaw family martial arts, and they try and be a good man.
Always good to try.
Alright, Cass.
Yes, I am playing Major Cassandra Ashford, a.k.a. MCA, who, her high concept is that she is a burgeoning two-fisted people's hero, though she has the trouble that she has enemies everywhere due to a long history of working for various spy organizations, most of whom she is now actively working against. She has the aspects of there's always another way, because she believes that killing is never the, only or best solution. She tries to avoid it at all possible.
She does before murdering some children in a...
Tries to avoid that. She is, as I mentioned before, a former Order agent, specifically to the Order 52. She believes quite firmly that the truth is out there and is quite dedicated to trying to find it. She's intent on bringing down the bad guys, since they are the ones who are really fucking up this world. She's got a soft spot for family tragedy, especially in the case of Fran, who has been teaching her, because she is Fran's student and protector. She's quite dedicated to the idea that she needs to protect this poor woman who has gone through far too much shit.
This poor Mary Sue.
This poor Sue. This poor, delicate baby Sue.
Speaking of this poor, delicate baby Sue.
Yeah. So, I, as the GM, god of this universe and all that is good, I have the GMPC of Fran Duhars, formerly known as Sunny Drummett, whose high concept is that she is a redemption-seeking blue sky agent. Her trouble is that I've done things I regret, and her aspects include that she's a loyal friend, pines for her lost brother. She has an eidetic memory. I know you're lying, but I'm just being nice. And the kindness of strangers, what's legal and what's right, and her secret methods. All right. Once again, Zombie Cam has not been able to join us. He has a bunch of personal stuff that we don't want to get into. That's been doing stuff, including jobs and all that. So, but I'm going to read off his character, Malvolio, despite that. So Malvolio has the high concept of an ambitious hero seeking to make the world a better place. His trouble is physically crippled, physically ill. He was born with the silver spoon. He's got your back. He has a sex magnet. He's a sister seeker. Let's get on with it. I know you know I know. Alright. So, that's everyone. Alright. So, last we left off, you all were on a highway. You had, you had
helicopters.
Yeah, you had escaped the serial killer hag, called up the triad or yakuza or whatever crime organization that the Tongs are involved in, who used plausible deniability to show what they did to dispose of her. And then shortly after, you went shopping and got a bunch of shit, found AIM, who harassed you, which you then fucked up his entire convoy. And most of the session was dedicated to you fighting off AIM's golden helicopter brigade, resulting in AIM and all of his buddies being arrested and AIM being physically disfigured. Afterwards, with your tails between your legs and Edward filled with bullets,
yeah, I was about to say that.
You go to a side motel with a new car that you took from a random pedestrian on the road, where you are now. So right now you are at night with Lee, Edward, and Mal in one room, and then MCA and Fran in the other.
Indeed.
Yes. So, I forgot to mention that you also grabbed the watch from the P.O. box, and then you have the box filled with the, with the thing.
Yeah.
So, we should probably start in that room. MCA and Fran.
Yeah. So so MCA kind of like walks over to the bed and sits down. She'd just gotten done basically making the dramatic statement about how the watch in here is the same one from not the same one from Major 2. It's a replica of the one from Major 2 that has the ability to enter the same parallel dimension, the one that Dion, the strange former mafia head turned living stand, and Madison had been trapped in for all this time, and sets the package down on the table and basically says, "Yeah, I don't think the two of us should be going in there alone. To be completely honest, I don't think Madison considers either of us to be particularly close friends right now."
Yeah, I don't think that either. I think she thinks that I caused her to die somehow.
Oh, she definitely believes that you betrayed her and desperately wants to kill you. I've seen her room. I've been in there before. It did not end well, but I've seen the way she lives, and she does not like you at all.
Okay.
Yeah. What we're probably going to need to do is I'll contact my friends who also go in there, and they'll go in with you so that Madison will be calmer, or at least less likely to attack if they're there.
Mm-hmm. So to get away from this kind of heavy topic for now, especially since probably want more than just us in there at the time of going in.
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. I did notice your stuff during that whole combat thing.
Raises an eyebrow.
The teleport running.
Oh, yeah.
Using the method to teleport your whole entire body. I'm going to be honest, I've never done that.
I mean, it just seemed kind of natural. It just seemed like a natural extension of what you had been teaching me.
Yeah, I've mostly been, I've been mostly just using the method to affect other things and people and all that. I didn't really ever think that it could be used on yourself.
Well, I mean, really, just if you think about it, we're just objects in space. I mean, we're not anything special. So, I mean, it just made sense to me that we would be just as easily teleported as anything else we threw.
I guess. I mean, wasn't it scary? Like, how did it feel being teleported?
I don't know. It sort of just felt like I was there 1 second, and the next there was a blur, and then I was where I needed to be. It wasn't so much like it was like driving really fast. Like everything kind of blurs for a second, but then you're just
You
forward.
see anything in between when you're gone?
I mean, I wasn't really paying attention. I was mostly just focused on the helicopter.
It's fair, I guess.
Like, I'll be honest, it was kind of like there was it was like being in a tunnel, but the other end, I saw what I was trying to get to, and I feel like if I wasn't focused on that, I probably could have ended up, in between, and I don't know. I mean, like, in between that jump could have meant, falling down to the ground and dying or something worse. So I kind of feel like that wouldn't have been a good idea.
Yeah, that makes sense. Huh. I haven't told you about the higher level thing, have I?
You haven't really told me too much, I'll be honest. It's mostly just been what, like, how to use this ability for throwing things.
Okay. Yeah, there's more that you can do with the method than just teleport things.
Nod.
So you know miracles, right?
She shrugs. I mean, I grew up in England. A lot of Christians, a lot of Protestants, a lot of Anglicans. But not exactly an entirely spiritual person. I'll be honest.
It's not quite the same, but I guess it's just mostly the actors that came up with this technique that kind of named that. But miracles is kind of something that you can do in the advanced forms of the method. It's a bit complicated, but you know how you could kind of tap into the tension of the scene, like it was like something you could cut with a butter knife, and you just manipulated it in order to teleport things. So think if we think about it as like a physical thing, tension as a physical thing, like a bucket of water, right? And there's only like a thimble of water in the bottom of the bucket, so you could just flash something and teleport it, very quickly. But now the water's gone. Now imagine if the bucket is full.
Nodding, like go on.
So, because the method kind of has this weird reality warping effect, or kind of manipulates reality in a way, you can kind of do anything with reality at the higher levels.
When you say anything, I mean, do you mean like anything, or like?
Given enough tension, you can erase people from existence, from all of history, actually.
Oh my god!
And how do you know that's possible?
It's mostly theoretical. I've only been heard of it from others on smaller scales.
I mean, like if you erase
you weren't there, but
I mean, no one would even know. It would just be they never existed.
Well, that's the weird part about it. Nobody would know except for the person that did it. But on the smaller scale, it doesn't really affect the whole universe. That's kind of the highest echelon of that. But on the lower level, you don't know about this, but it can erase people's minds or get rid of a room or change the layout of a room as if it just wasn't there.
Yeah, fine. So what you're saying is that what Blue Skies does is connected in some way to the method?
Kind of. It's odd. Other Blue Skies agents are not very open about anything about themselves at all, really. While my power is now out there, for a while my power wasn't really known by a lot of other agents, but for Blue Sky, I'm not sure if he has both a method and his own muse that is able to do that by itself, but either way,
MCA steeples her fingers and is clearly in deep thought and basically says, so what you're saying is that the method, power developed by Alan and his troop, is connected to Blue Skies. Blue Skies, who is connected in turn to Mallory and Medusa. Mallory, who is the mother of Malvolio and Madison, and AIM and a few others. There's an interconnected web here that goes deeper than even I had suspected, and I'm not entirely comfortable with that.
Yeah. You know the radio, right? Like, it turns on the radio, it just so happens to be about, wrapping up a thing about the car crash and about the, AIM being arrested. And it brings up the Hurricane Madison, which has been tearing its way up the coast. Or, it's just touched down in Florida not too long ago.
When that's said, MCA's eyes just flick to the watch.
But either way, do you know how much tension weather creates?
Dark and stormy night, big rain slick rooftop final showdowns, lightning storms, mad science, all that. Yeah.
So if you want to deal with all these organizations, what I'm saying is that you might want to perform a miracle.
Oh, good. Yeah, that sounds easy. That's this fight might be hard. I guess I might as well just perform a quick miracle.
Well, it's complicated. What I'm saying is that if Blue Sky and whatever are using the method, who's to say that they won't be using this massive hurricane as a means to an end?
She shows no one. I assume that anyone who knows anything about this would know that they're clearly setting something up here. This is not a coincidence.
So what I'm saying is use the tension before them when it comes time.
You realize you're suggesting that someone who's just now learning about the method is going to, try and outplay two masters. Alan Sanders, one of the greatest actors of any generation, and Blue Skies, a man who built a secret empire off the back of this one ability. And I've been practicing it for about 48 hours now.
I know, but you've been learning it really quickly, but you and Lee are kind of prodigies at this. I don't know if it's in genetics, the way you're raised up, something about it.
I promise you, I have no actors in my family.
I know nobody. I have known nobody that that thinks outside the box with the method. Everyone I've known kind of just thinks linearly with it, myself included. What I'm saying is not now, but assume. I just wanted to tell you about this ability, this thing, and this idea, just as kind of a plant the seed for a tree later on, where in case the time comes and either I won't be around or something.
Hey, don't talk like that. You're gonna be around. I'm not gonna let anything happen to you, friend. You survived this long on your own, and now you've got people looking out for you. Trust me, you're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna get these guys. We're gonna get all of them. It's just gonna be tricky, is all.
Yeah. I just. Yeah. 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 Anyway, you should probably call up your friends. And with that, we're going to cut to the other room. Lee, Mal, and Edward are in their hotel room. It's at night.
Mm-hmm.
What are y'all doing?
Lee is spinning one of his needles in his hand.
Edward's just kind of sitting on the bed trying to get over the pain. Do you have any acupuncture to deal with bullet wounds?
That sounds so racist.
At this, Lee goes ahead, jabs the needle into his leg, and injects it.
I'm imagining into Lee's leg.
Into Lee's leg, yes.
Because it's saying injecting it into his leg after.
Yeah, no. Yeah, there are limits to acupressure, and you wouldn't use these needles for acupuncture. And having a bunch of bullets in your back is kind of sort of beyond the purpose of it. I can try and do a quick pain block, but that's about it. But, don't worry. Muty, the medic right here, he goes ahead and gestures towards Malvolio. We'll be able to stitch you up, no problem.
Sure. That would...
Lee is going to go ahead, place his hands on Edward, and attempt to go ahead and put in a pain block.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So... rolling clever. It's going to be a +3.
+3, huh?
-1 on the dice, +2 from Ancient Chinese Secret, their pressure point's okay, and clever is a +2.
So what's the total again?
+3.
+3. So, you don't feel too much different. I mean, not unsuspectingly. You're still riddled with bullets. Yeah. One can't imagine how you couldn't remove them at this point. But the pain does feel a bit more numbed-ish. To where the pain isn't so bad that you're having, struggling to even, find any comfort in speaking or anything.
Yeah.
But again, you're still hurt everywhere. Back, legs, just everything on the back of your body, just riddled with bullets.
It's something, is what's going through his mind. Yeah, Thanks a lot, Lee.
I told you, bullets are a bit beyond the Ancient Chinese Secrets.
Yeah, I know, but the pain blocker did help.
Goody gumdrops. Well, at least you're not bleeding too badly.
Yeah. I mean, for being riddled for so many bullets, nothing hit vital, I think, which is a miracle in itself.
Yeah, normally you don't expect that. I guess it must have been your power working overtime to save your ass.
Probably right.
Edward finally realizes that he has the power to control metal.
God.
Realizing this, and the fact that he's filled with metal,
He's just going to eject the metal.
I mean, you can.
Are you going to try and do that?
No, that was a joke. That was
No, I mean, seriously, would you try and do that?
You try and remove the bullets.
I think
Let's
he
put this
understands
a
that the
different way.
removal of like a knife would cause more bleeding.
Possibly.
Let's put this another way. What?
Yeah, so I was just trying to look at the thing and just seeing if there's any aspects that apply to this one way or the other. Because in case you've forgotten, we're playing Fate, and there are aspects, so they can be compelled.
They can be. Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. So yeah, you can't compel Edward to act one way or the other on this one.
What are you talking about? Edward, I've been through some shit.
Oh.
With your experience running from the law, you've had a couple of bullets in your time. Especially with all the shit and the fact that your body is all scarred up. You know how to remove a bullet or two. I compel you. You believe that you can get rid of all these bullets, even at once. Do you take it?
Alright, fuck it, sure. That seems reasonable.
You take the thing.
Yeah,
Sit up and make a fucking roll, bitch.
Yeah,
So what would that
grabs onto his sleeve and just takes a big bite out of it.
I would imagine, based on how Winter describes this will. I will decide which approach will be
He's
used.
apparently taking a big bite of it, so...
No, he's taking a big bite of his sleeve. He doesn't, bite his tongue.
This sounds extremely forceful. Like, this sounds like it's basically like...
It sounds like
he's
he's...
trying to do this.
Yeah,
oh my god, you're gonna fire bullets out of your back.
This is a careful, considering that he just took an action in advance to, set himself up.
That's fair.
Well, I'll let Winter describe how he does it.
Yeah, so he takes some sleeve and then he bites down on it before trying to work it down the way that came and out of his body.
The shaft is...
Yeah. Pretty.
Yeah, I'd say careful because he's taking preparations and he's trying to do it slowly.
Yeah, if you were trying to do just fucking blow that shit out of your back, then yeah, that would have been a forceful. But yeah, okay. Roll me careful.
Damn it!
What happened?
I rolled 3 negatives, so 0.
Oh, oh boy.
My dice don't want Edward to live, I swear.
Oh, Edward, you try to work the bullets out of your back as carefully as possible, but not realizing your own strength, you feel something tear in your body. Take 2 more stress points.
Okay.
I assume there is bleeding?
Yes. One of the wounds starts bleeding out of your back. And it is not...
God damn it, stop it! Fucking motel, these are not going to be sterile. Think.
They have alcohol in the fridge, don't they?
They have what?
Alcohol? Doesn't that sterilize?
You're paying for this.
Sure! Like I have money to do that.
Grabs the highest proof thing, dumps it on the wound. That would hurt like the Dickens, by the way.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, he is nearly screaming from the...
You want to roll a medical roll to see how...
Yeah.
You want to bandage this up.
We're going to go with, quick dressing here.
Yeah, this is going to be
essentially dump it on, grab a sheet, rip it, and go ahead and...
I'll tell you, this is going to be a little bit harder because of the...
Oh, I'm aware.
You're using basically nothing.
Okay, so that ends up being a +2.
+2, huh?
Zilch on the dice, +2 on quick.
Yeah, that's not really doing much. I will say you stop the bleeding, but it doesn't really help him that too much. You're still feeling some terrible pain.
So long as he's not leaking all over the place, that's the really important bit.
Yeah. You're probably going to need to change out the bandage every half hour probably for a little while until the bleeding slows because
Oh yeah.
then that was just a patch job essentially.
Yeah, like at this, noticing that what it's doing, Lee is actually going to tighten down it even further, despite the fact that that's certain to hurt, because extra pressure on this wound is necessary.
Yeah, fair. He is.
Don't do that again.
Fine.
Never taken a puncture wound before?
I just pop them out when I get shot.
No. You leave the thing that's puncturing you in the wound.
Fine, I won't do that again.
Christ. Look, I'm going to take the rest of this ruined sheet, and you go in the bathtub and lie down, because we do not need to be cleaning up any more bloodstains.
And put your head underneath the bathtub water. No.
All right.
Like find some bleach or something.
Oh gosh.
And so
snaps fingers in front of Malvolio's fist. Come on, medic boy.
Malvolio does not seem interested. It seems as though, based on the expression on his face and the way that he looks around, he's still angry about abandoning those people.
But he's got my back.
True. You're compelling
Person
him?
bleeding, hero. Come on.
Are you compelling him? Is that what you're doing? You're compelling him, okay. Oh god, now I have to roleplay as Malvolio.
I'm sorry, but yeah.
Fine, I'll see what I can do.
Fine. I'm gonna go find that bleach and maybe better medical supplies than this.
Malvolio wheels to... I imagine Edward has finally gone into the bathtub.
Yeah.
He wheels himself into the bathroom, knocking over a couple of things. Edward, are you alright?
He just gives the, look at me look.
Yeah, Hey, Edward, I'm sure that things will recover soon. The damage that you did yourself was probably just a little bit of friction. Probably wasn't actually that much damage at all.
I guess, though, I did think I felt bad.
He starts petting Edward's head.
Yeah, Lee is going to head out the door, not quietly.
Mm-hmm.
I actually considering the fact that they're shouting and crying and sobbing going on, as the door is not loudly open and closed, MCA opens the door to check out in the hallway to see what the fuck is going on.
Genius decided to try and pull a bullet out of his own back.
Slow rubbing of the forehead commences.
What's going on, MCA?
Edward decided to pull bullets out of his back.
God damn it, I usually do that for him.
Look, I got a bandage on it. Malvolio's looking after him. I'm gonna try and find some proper first aid supplies and something to clean up the bloodstains.
That's probably a good idea.
I'm rolling as Malvolio to do use his power to try and convince Edward to that maybe his damage is not as bad.
It
Probably
hurts
a little
lot,
hard, being that it's fucking really terrible.
Yeah.
So I don't imagine this to succeed, but
MCA goes, you need any assistance with that? I know a little bit about first aid and patching people up.
More the merrier.
Alright. Fran, you want to come along? You seem to have some experience. Yeah.
No, I'll definitely do that.
Yeah, hold on. She goes back and grabs the watch and shoves it in her pocket because she's not
Winter,
that shit
resist.
behind.
Winter, resist Malvolio's advance.
4.
Okay, yeah.
I assume
he doesn't convince you at all.
Yeah.
Your body is just hurting too much. You're bleeding still.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dion, you were just not convinced by this man's words. Trying to convince you that it's not as bad as it is. However, you do still feel somewhat comforted by the by the fact that he's standing over you in a bathtub.
Oh, sitting
over you in a bathtub and giving you comforting touch to the head. Anyway, MCA wanted Fran to jump in on this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Edward,
Yeah.
are you lying in the bathtub?
Yeah, I was told to.
God damn it. How many bullets do you have?
5 to 7.
Sorry, Mal. I
They're
need
a
to
little
move you out of the
close.
way. Yeah. She pushes gently pushes Mal out of the way. And he does. He moves out of the way without protest. And she forcefully shoves Edward onto so that his front is facing downwards and his back is facing up. Edward, this is gonna be weird, but you feel her finger basically go all the way down your back.
Oh no!
It doesn't hurt, but you do feel your clothes split down the middle, all the way down.
Whoa.
MCA, Lee, do you want to help here?
Yeah.
What do you need?
She spreads apart his clothes, very clearly as if she had just melted and scraped away the center seam on the back. Can you help hold this open while I just take a look and count the number of wounds?
Sure.
Yeah, no worries.
God, wait. Oh my gosh, look at how many. Oh my god, everywhere. You have it everywhere.
Wow. That is twice as many bullet holes as I would have. Oh, right. Some of these are coming the other direction.
Yeah. Wow. Just wow. So Edward, how many stress did you take in the last game? You took.
I took a consequence.
Stress is recovered at the end of a
yeah.
scene.
I know, but how much do you remember? Do you take?
I had 1 stress and then the consequence.
How much is the consequence?
It was a moderate. It's a 4.
It's a 4. Okay. So Edward,
Yeah.
you have 6 bullet wounds. Luckily, 3 of which are just scrapes, or I guess grazes.
Yeah.
They took out a chunk of the side of your legs or whatever, but they didn't actually go in. But the other ones, however, are kind of bad. A couple of them are bleeding.
Yeah.
Pretty profusely.
Gotta be honest, I'm surprised he's still alive at this point. Look at how many goddamn bullets went in him.
Yeah, man, you're a trooper. I'm just imagining everyone just huddled over him, just looking at his fucking bullet.
Here's the thing, beyond that as well, he got fucking blown up in the explosion, so there's a bunch of bullets.
There's a
in
bunch
scar
of
tissue.
scars.
Yeah, it's a bunch of scars and his entire scarred up back and bullets inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 big explosions, quite a few bullets, yeah.
Does anyone have pliers or tweezers that I can get at? I don't know the caliber of this thing, but it's pretty big.
Hold on, I might be able to add something. Hold on. MCA starts rummaging through her bag, pulling out random doodads and eventually a pair of pretty large, pretty heavy duty tweezers. I've pulled bullets out with these things before. They should work.
All right. So Edward, I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah.
Grabs a towel, wets it, put this in your mouth and bite really hard onto it.
He nods, says he's heard those words before and does it.
All right, here we go.
Oh no!
No,
I stabbed you directly through.
It wasn't as bad as you think,
It's
but
fine.
oh
Oh,
man,
no.
that was not a great roll. Okay, yeah, that's a 0, 0, but then I'm gonna add a +2 because of the careful thing. Jesus.
Oh God.
And then.
Edward's.
Okay, good to know that she has a stunt that assists with this, though. Because it's a stunt with
nice.
precautions, and she did take plenty of precautions in this. However, you know, as they say, you need to get hurt before you can get better. Can you roll me a careful roll to, or I guess a forceful roll, because you're forcing yourself not to, you know,
Pass out.
pass out.
This is all about your muscles.
3 more negatives.
Oh, he's out
man,
like a
what's your
fucking
total?
light.
I'm trying to see if I have anything that helps me on this. No, -1.
Oh, you get a
Out like
negative
a
1 in
fucking
total?
light.
Okay.
God fucking damn it.
Okay.
So
Wow.
it's like basically what the
Okay,
imagine
you
is
take
like
2 more stress, but you do pass out.
nurse. So basically, probably that would end up being a minor consequence now. With
You take a minor consequence.
actually, that's 4 stress in total. Jesus, he'd have a second moderate consequence, but he can't.
Oh God.
So he'd just be
Well, no, I mean, the stress boxes could still be filled, but yeah, if you're taking a consequence, you could definitely take a mild.
yeah.
Well,
Like, which you
it's
probably
like-
should do because you're dangerously working your way up to a severe consequence.
Mm-hmm.
It was 2 stress or what?
Yeah,
You have a
two
total
stress
of
is
4.
taken off of it for the mild.
Okay.
So you're down to 2 stress and a mild and a moderate consequence.
So guess that mild will be.
Botched surgery.
That's kind of what I was thinking, but
Botch patch job.
Yeah.
botch that show.
So basically, yeah, like the way I'm seeing this is like a bumbling fucking thing where it's like Nurse Butterfingers here, like
She did. It wasn't a Butterfingers. I imagine she just reached in there and then just.
well, here's the
Kind
thing,
of just
she
yanked it out.
rolled a mediocre roll, so what I imagine is like she like pokes it in there but doesn't really do it very gently, and like kind of like jabs him in the side in the middle of an open wound, and he just suddenly screams and passes out, and she's like, oops. Oops.
Yeah.
Lee just shakes his head as he holds apart the clothes. We are redefining the definition of meatball surgery.
Hey, you know, now that he's passed out, at least I can get the rest of these out, you know? And over the course of, like, almost about an hour, she removes all but, like, 1. So, you know, she gets 2 out, and you know, everyone, you know, Lee helps with some stuff, and they're able to bandage up most of the stuff.
God, he is looking so pale right now. Like,
yeah.
his fucking
probably-
back has been laid open for an hour. He cannot have a lot of blood left in his body at this point.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so Lee actually goes over to the room fridge. Orange juice.
Is there cookies? I think there's a vending machine in the hall, though. And she starts stitching, quote-unquote, stitching up the back of his clothes by, like, she basically puts together all the clothes and then just fuses it in the way that it should be.
Yeah. Lee is just going to go ahead and, I'll take a look, and I'll see if I can't actually find some proper antiseptic. Be ready to take that open again.
Yeah, makes sense.
Like, I look over at friends and say, listen, I know it's a bit grim and all, but do you ever think about the fact that, you know, your partner here, he's probably gonna die pretty soon. Like, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not trying to be pessimistic about this, but we saved him now. He's gonna recover from this, but there is no way in hell he's going to live.
I mean, that's one of the things
He's doing this.
that Edward has is, despite being some of the unluckiest one of the unluckiest people I've ever seen. Ever. He still somehow manages to not die. It's kind of astonishing, really. I mean, you saw the scars. That was all a massive explosion.
I know. I'm just saying, like, this guy, he's like a cat. He's got 9 lives, but I mean, she points at the she points at the explosion. 1, other explosion. 2, points to the the 6 bullet holes. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
What you're saying is then he's down on the wire, huh?
Yeah, this is even for even Catboy here just gotta be down to his last life now.
Well, let's not think about that right now. Let's just focus on getting him patched up and then talking with the whole Madison thing. Also, did you get in touch with your friends? Or?
Yeah, I texted them. They'll be ready when we're ready.
Mm-hmm. All right. How does the watch work, by the way? And Lee, you go out there. You don't find any antiseptic.
Yeah, I imagine that the closest thing to medicine that's in the machine is going to be aspirin
or Band-Aids. I mean, yeah, you do find some painkillers. It's like basic painkillers.
Yeah, no. Essentially, what Leah's going to be looking for is fairly sugary stuff to go ahead and quickly get.
Oh yeah, you find name brand. Quickly come up with a name brand. Everyone.
Yeah.
Phantom Toll House cookies.
Dogs.
What house cookies?
Pain away.
The Phantom Toll House cookies.
Oh, that's good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, you pick up some Phantom Toll House cookies, oatmeal cookies. Wait, what's Edward's least favorite cookie?
What?
What is Edward's least favorite cookie?
Probably like an Oreo, or if you're talking in actual cookies, like probably the M&M kinds.
Okay, you pick up one that has the N and N's.
The N and N's and the High Drops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. Oatmeal and N and N's. And
Lee walks back and then tosses them on Edward's chest. You will eat them.
Is he awake?
And Edward this has been a little while.
Okay.
Edward is just coming to.
I know we're coming up with like bullshit fake brands, but now just the N&M brand cookies just makes me think that we're living in like a weird alternate universe where Agatha Christie's super popular and a huge sellout, and we're like eating N&M brand like special cookies.
It's N.
I know, but it's just like Agatha Christie has a book called N and M. I'm just imagining this like there's like a big picture of Agatha Christie on this box.
Okay, that's a pretty good one. Yeah, actually, they are N
It
and
is for nauseous.
They are N&Ms.
Yeah. He looks up for a second.
Hydrox is actually a real brand. It's the one that Oreo forced out.
Oh.
It was the original Oreo cookie, and Oreo plowed them under.
Oh,
True. Yeah.
Oh.
That is true.
So he's gonna look up and then look down, and then he's just gonna start eating. He understands.
Was about to look at him and go, "Don't make me force you."
He's fucking disgusted every bite. Just.
Also, this is being held in front of your face. I doubt that's going to go well with these.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I love this. I'm gonna have to Photoshop that at some point, April. I'm gonna Photoshop that.
Yeah.
Oh god.
I love it so much. This alternate universe is so stupid.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so Edward's munching on the cookies. MC explains for the sake of the characters and as a refresher to the audience because it's been a while since the watch has actually really been in play. So basically, the way this thing works is there's an alternate universe, a little pocket dimension created by an ex-mobster named Dion. When he died, his stand allowed him to continue on in this pocket dimension, which is only accessible with a special watch, or by someone who actually understands how to make a similar watch. You had to set it to a very specific time, which I am not going to tell you for various reasons, including the fact that, let's be honest, it's not exactly like the sort of thing that you just want to tell anyone and everybody out loud. But you twist the little knobs, you get it to the right time, and then I'm not going to actually click it, but I'm going to hold it up to demonstrate. You would hit this this little button here, and we would be brought into this dimension for 15 minutes. Though because of the way time is different in that dimension, it would be like a second here. Like we would all pass out and enter this dimension and be awake before we actually had a chance to hit the ground.
Okay, so just the mind goes in?
Just the mind. Body remains out here. I don't know if you can get hurt inside the watch. I've honestly never seen anyone actually do it, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's not some way that you could get kind of fucked up with, your brain being messed around with.
So you're saying that I get to meet my sister again?
Yes. Yes. I gotta warn you, Malvolio, here's the thing. Your sister, she's in there, but she doesn't always come out to greet new people. And she looks over at Fran, and Dion's niece has asked that she be that she's going to be kind of kept to the side for this first meeting while we meet and greet, because she might otherwise cause a few problems. You'll have a chance to talk with her soon. Just probably not this one first visit.
Okay, that's fine by me.
It's just for the sake of the safety of everybody in the group.
It's fair enough. When are we going to get started?
Well, I just need to text. I need to text my friends on the other side to meet us there, because they'll probably want to, say hello and also, catch up. But we can do it basically anytime you want to. Just be careful, like I said. Anything that happens in the watch, pretty much anything can happen in the watch, but you're largely safe until you're back out here in the real world. But while we're in the watch,
well, why would anything bad happen in the real world? Blah, blah.
Looking at fucking Edward, this is it's like staggers about with like a pale white face.
Yeah, he's holding on to each side of the door to.
Edward wishes he had a wheelchair right now.
Yeah. Can't imagine. Anyway, just letting you know.
All right. Let's do it then.
Okay, hold on.
Right now?
Right now. Why not?
Lee's going to point over at Edward. That's why not.
It will only be a second, so...
Yeah, 15 minutes going into this special location, special dimension when he is delirious from blood loss.
To be fair, his psychology might not survive. His brain's kind of all sorts of scrambled up.
I'm sure things will be okay.
I'm not.
Well, that's not up to you.
It's not up to you either.
MCA slowly, lowers the watch.
Look, if nothing else, he needs to have at least a night's rest and more food in him, and be checked on. You want to go into the watch soonest? Fine. You look after him. Lee stalks out.
MCA kind of looks around and then pockets the watch. I'll catch up with you all in a bit. And then hurries out of the room.
This awkward silence in the room between the angry paralyzed boy, the spy who basically has a death sentence if Madison gets out of the lodge, and Edward.
Just yeah.
Does Edward say anything, or does he just stand there? Going,
No, Edward's just kind of like he kind of gives like a thumbs up and
he
then
does the Goku thumbs up while like about to pass out.
yeah.
Who's he giving the thumbs up to?
MCA.
The camera.
MCA's left. MCA left the
The
room.
kids at home.
It takes him a minute to realize that.
Alright,
Just
yeah, it is one.
All right. So, MCA follows the lead, who has stormed out of the room.
Like, hey, hold up.
Lee pulls the flask out of their vest and takes a swig from it.
Hey, you alright? You're more on edge than usual.
Yeah. Looks around. This isn't the place to talk about it. It starts walking towards outside.
Okay. She follows, basically, like, hesitating just a second to find out whether or not he's, inviting her to come along, or basically just being like, I don't want to talk right now, but eventually assumes it's the former and so follows.
Yeah, Lee is going to actually walk quite a bit of ways from essentially any place where anyone would be listening, and essentially make it so if anyone wants to listen in, they're going to have to get really close or be invisible.
Yeah, and MCA is just like kind of looking around like, okay, I feel actually more exposed out here, but all right, cool.
Yeah, well, we could go into the woods, but
After the last experience we had out in the woods, I'm kind of in no rush to get out there either.
speaking of which, I do have to apologize to you.
Oh, what's that?
Lee just gives her a look. What are you, stupid?
She shrugs. Like, I don't think there's like it's, that whole situation back there was.
I promised you I wouldn't kill anyone.
She sighs. Yeah, look, I don't exactly love the fact that, like some of what this group has been doing, but I'll be honest, if there's anyone at all who's an exception to my rule, that thing would be it.
Lee nods. That thing is going to be flesh soup soon enough.
Yeah, I figured as much.
With all the scars on it, just no chances.
Yeah, no, gotta clean up the body and all that. I understand it. Trust me, I don't like killing, but I understand the necessity of it sometimes, and I also am not exactly a stranger to the messy afterwards.
Yeah. Lee, at this point, looks down at the flask they're holding and actually hands it out to MCA. Sorry.
She takes a sip. Yeah, don't worry about it. Listen, what's is it just that? Is that is that all that's got?
No, it's not just that. Look. Looks around again. You thought, and he actually switches over into, this was all in English up to this point, and actually switches over to Chinese for this. Okay, look, you said that you thought that he's a mind controller. Malvolio.
I have my suspicions, yeah.
I don't think it's that.
Okay. What do you think it is?
Two theories. One, perceptual control. Can make you believe. Can't control, but can make you believe. Two is almost worse. Full reality warper.
She nods and says, "Well, I got some bad news for you. I was talking with Fran earlier, and she was telling me a bit more about what she's able to do, what Blue Sky does, what she kind of waves her hand. Well, the Sanders kids and the acting troupe and Medusa and Blue Sky, what they're all messing with. This thing called the Method. We've been talking about before, but apparently it's...
You might have heard about it. It's
Lee,
been underground.
at this, Lee actually is holding their flask, and suddenly a pool of alcohol appears in their hand. You mean this?
Yeah, so thing is, that, it ain't just teleporting. It's, well, like you said, it's the worst case scenario. It's reality warping.
What do you think the teleporting is?
I don't know. I kind of hoped it was just some sort of, I don't know, space folding or something. No, what we got.
Isn't that reality warping?
Well, it's not just that though. I mean, like, according to Fran, people like Malvolio, people like Blue Skies, people like all these folks, they can do things with this power. They can warp reality. They can change perceptions. They can erase your mind. They can erase someone from history. They can make it so you never even were born.
Lee snaps at the erase your mind. Wait, say that again?
Erase someone from history?
No, before that.
Erase your mind.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and apparently,
No, you don't get it. That changes everything.
Yeah, I mean, like, we're in some deep shit.
No, about the nature of the method.
How do
you don't see it?
No.
Lee holds up the goes ahead and holds up the flask, which essentially jumps from hand to hand. Okay, this is what we've been doing. Physical objects, right?
Right.
So what's the mind?
I mean, it's a physical
It's
object.
a metaphysical concept. It's not an object. It's an idea. It's a collection of information.
She nods slowly, but kind of like, what? Okay, well, we'll see if it when it happens.
It was coming through Kit.
Okay,
that's
fine. MCA just says, okay, I'm following you, but I mean, like, isn't the mind just related to the taps the side of her head, all the electrons,
the brain, right?
Yeah, like the gray meat inside of your head.
No, those are two different things. The brain creates the mind. It's the thing that the mind phenomenon comes from, but the mind isn't the brain. I mean, hell, MCA, you said it yourself. The mind just goes into that watch.
Holy shit, you're right.
Souls exist!
I mean, yeah, like, actually, basically, yeah, this is... Yeah, no, there is something more than just the meat inside there, because what is being pulled into the watch is essentially the vital essence of the person who is such into the watch. It's why
Lee starts to pace back and forth. That must be why acting is a strong control for it.
Of course. That's why... Because
it's all about perception and creating ideas and faking ideas.
And Madison was kept alive because of a pin her brother gave her, a pin given to her by Malvolio, someone with the ability to manipulate minds.
Huh.
That's not Fran in that no, sorry, not Fran. That's not Madison in that watch. That's a construct of Madison created by Malvolio.
Well, that's... So, is that Madison going to be the Madison that you and Edward and Fran remember? Or is it going to be the Madison that Malvolio thinks of?
I guess it would depend ultimately on whether or not the pin he created was creating a backup of Madison as he thinks of her, or was directly recording in some supernatural way her vital essence in order to ensure that he would be able to have an exact copy of her. So it could be that what is in there isn't even the original Madison, even in like the way she thinks. It could be, for lack of a better word, Malvolio's Madison, or it could be, at least a clone of the original. And if it's the first, then that means that it would be, well, fanatically loyal to Malvolio.
Yeah, that's more than a little bit terrifying. You do realize he's an enemy agent, right?
Yeah, I sort of, picked up on the fact that he's the son of one of my organization's greatest enemies, as well as the son of one of my own personal greatest nemesis, as well as clearly the fact that he's, not working with us and has been manipulating us from the beginning.
Yeah. I was just going to go on the fact that when we started to talk about our goals and such, he tried to warn me off.
Yeah.
I mean, play dumb, of course, but I mean, come on.
He's been working at cross purposes from the beginning. I'm sure of it.
I wonder if that explains why so many people are attracted to him.
MC actually just that flashes back to when he tried to compel Sex Magnet, which would have in universe manifested as at least a mild drive, for her to find him attractive, which she ignored. And at that, she just kind of shudders a little bit and goes, "I think I might know the answer to that."
Really?
I have a very strong suspicion, let's say. And one I think I might be able to back up.
I don't need more than that. Lee's face has gone just icy dead.
Yeah. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that's no different than drugs. I'm thinking that's no different than forcing someone into something that they don't want.
She nods. You realize if we just kick down the door and, drag him out into the hallway and, beat the shit out of him or lock him up, or she leaves the rest unsaid, it's not going to go down well, especially considering the fact that Fran and Edward are both, infatuated with him.
So we go ahead and leave him just there?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying we might need to take a subtle approach. Just kicking the door might result in, we don't know how deep this sort of thing goes. If it's the sort of thing that if, he gets his head kicked in, that suddenly it breaks and, everything's honky-dory, or if it's the type of deal where we do that and suddenly we're on the receiving end of a barrage of teleporting kicks and, big metal beams tearing through the hotel.
Do you have a plan?
I'm working on one. It's going to require a little bit of thinking, but I think our best option would be to find some sort of situation in which he's not surrounded by them, and then arrange an accident.
That's nostalgic.
I am terrified by your nostalgia.
Yeah, so am I.
Oh my god.
Well, I'm glad of some of the things that have happened on this. Going ahead and deciding to grab one of the invitations and play around in this race was a really bad idea.
I'm getting that strong impression. MC cracks your knuckles. But do you regret it?
No.
Yeah, me neither. And that's
Things still need to be taken down.
Yeah. By the way, we're past the hour mark, so that should probably be a good point for us to stop briefly, at least just to cut the episode.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
So we'll see you guys in the next video coming up real soon. Boop, 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 boop.